Okay,
Yep.
so we're live now.
What's up, guys?
Okay, and so right now it's just the three of us, and no one's viewing it right now. So,
Well, for those watching, this is clearly a test run, so don't judge just yet.
yes,
So,
I just got to see if I could find the link to share it.
I'll check PG Collect again just to.
So I don't know where we're on. I'll do a Facebook now.
So are you trying to find a link to share it with them? Or
Yeah, just share it in the posted in the VG Collect site. So
okay, on the page for
if one
the
of
cast here, if where it says details,
yeah,
if you click links, there's a few options that pop up there, but
okay, that's on the Google Plus site, right?
yes, yeah. Yeah, I know I haven't used Google Plus before, so it's new to me too.
I forgot all about it until not too long ago when someone mentioned the podcast idea, so I thought it was antiquated.
So you just sent me the I think I just got the link for it. So
He says nothing. Swear word, damn it. Let's see here. There's no. Did you say there was a direct link to send him to let him just click
Um,
the link?
there's a link to the YouTube page, the event page, and a video embed link.
okay, so I think I sent it. We got one viewer.
We do.
Yes.
It'll sometimes happen.
So
All right.
something's happening. All right. So welcome. This is the Central Time East Coast.
I was very happy about this.
Yeah, all my games are in the other room. So hold on
Yeah,
a
mine
second.
are in the other room too. I don't know if we were talking games or not. But, you know.
Need a beer.
Oh right, here next to the
Just
beer.
about as convenient. It's right next to a refrigerator, so I could easily get beer. So, welcome to all who's watching. This is the Retro Rewind. I'm Charles or Mr. Nikon. Let the rest of you guys introduce yourselves.
I am Philip, but my username on VG Collect and probably everywhere else video game related is Cashel from Valkyrie Profile. One of the greatest games ever, by the way. You all should play it. There you go.
And and I'm Kyle. My name on the site is Foxshot, or a few different things depending on how you pronounce it. And I also go by the Tabletop Commander for my YouTube and Tumblr blog.
Okay.
All right. Got a motley crew here.
Yes. So, I'm from Chicago.
I'm not from
You're
Nashville, but I live here anyway. I'm actually from Cleveland, Ohio, and then I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and now I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Oh man, Ohio. Ugh.
That's why I moved.
There's a lot of people who move from like Ohio. There's not many people who stay in Ohio.
Yeah, they visit
You know,
Ohio,
there's
admire Ohio from afar. That's what I do now. It's funny because my parents just came to visit,
right.
and I'm like, "Can you move back?" And no. So.
I've got a coworker. He's from Cleveland or Lyndhurst, Ohio, and now he moved off to Chicago.
Chicago's great. I moved there. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think there's a meme or something out there where it's like the most astronauts are actually from Ohio. What made them leave? Yeah, I'm from Indiana, so we're not big fans of Ohio over here.
What part of Indiana are you from?
I'm near Richmond, so it's basically kind of the east between Indianapolis and the Ohio-Indiana border.
Okay, because I have family in Fort Wayne and family in Evansville, so been there many times.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay. Now we got no viewers now. I don't know.
Did we have any luck with getting anyone else in here yet?
I've sent invites. I know you guys got the invite. I don't know why the other people haven't, or maybe they just haven't gotten it. So,
Oh, Fighter Pilot
Okay.
just said I can see/hear you guys, but he's
okay.
not
Can you hear me
participating.
okay still?
So I'm not sure where he is.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, so, so talk about, video retro games. Probably a question, it's on the forum a lot. So what was your guys' first intro to like playing video games at all?
Well, you're the host. Why don't you start off?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, mine, was probably first grade. So probably like 1986, 87. A girl in my school, she lived across the alley from me, and she had an Atari 2600. So somehow my dad was talking to her grandma, who she was living with. So I got the invite to go and play, Atari at her house. So I started playing like Pitfall. It's like one of the first games I remember playing a lot.
Oh, jeez.
I don't
Yeah,
remember ever passing the game. We just was running and not even having an idea what to do. We're just running, jumping on the rope, and running around and jumping. But
avoiding alligators and.
falling down holes. I
Didn't they remake Pitfall for like the PlayStation?
think so. After they
There
did
is a Super NES. I think that in Genesis, was it,
Really?
for one of the Pitfall sequels?
yeah, and they also
Yeah. I don't know if it was on Genesis, but I think it was on the SNES.
yeah, I saw.
Let's
I have
see.
it for.
Yeah.
Do I have it for the Genesis?
Yeah,
Oh,
this one.
yeah. On the
I
money.
think I do. I think I have it for the Genesis.
So, Philip, what about you?
Well, yeah, gosh, I think I was also in first grade because I was about 6. I remember my age, and I went over to my friend's house who lived like 2 doors down, and he met me at the stairs. He was like, "Oh my God, Philip, guess what?" I'm like, "What?" I got a Nintendo, and I didn't know what Nintendo was, so I was like, "Okay, that's great. Can we play with Legos now?" And we should have played with Legos because then I became like, you know. So then, I left. It was time for dinner, and I was like, "Mom, Dad, I really want a Nintendo." And so for my birthday, I got one. And I guess I've been gaming ever since I was 6 years old. Haven't looked back.
Yeah, I remember when I.
Yeah. So, oh, okay. I don't want to interrupt anyone.
You go
No,
ahead.
I mean, I'm done.
So, yeah, I think technically I started out with the NES, and actually, where is it over here? I think one of my favorite ones was Blaster Master. I used to like that one a lot. But I started out with the NES a little bit, but I don't remember very much of that besides Duck Hunt and Super Mario Bros. Because that was the pack-in, the big thing. But I think I really started more with the PlayStation 1 was kind of the one that we had at our house. It was actually for Christmas, and I think it was supposed to be for my mom, and we got Spyro with it. So that was the first one I think that I really remember kind of having my own console and gaming a lot on it.
Right.
Of course, I went over to a friend's house and played on their N64 and stuff, but I never really got into Nintendo. I was always more Sony and Xbox stuff. So.
Yeah.
I've been a Nintendo kid my whole life. I got my first. I got it. I think 88, 89 when we got the Nintendo, its original NES. I just grew up just calling it Nintendo, so I still have that thing. I just call it just straight up Nintendo. When we got the the Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, and I also think we got Rad Racer when we got it. So those are 2 games that we got at the first, and and I never really had that many of the other games growing up. And they're always like, be $40 back then. And now
Yes.
recently I've been able to buy all these games again since they're so cheap.
I don't know.
Yeah, which that is.
So I don't think they're cheap anymore.
Oh, some are cheap. Some are cheap.
I mean, comparatively, historically, I mean, right now we're at a time where games are basically the cheapest they've ever been. It's more affordable than it's ever been, actually. Which,
Yeah.
if you actually look for adjusting for inflation and stuff, it's amazing to see the old ads and see how much some of the old like add-ons and everything were. It's so much money. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that, but but
I don't know. Maybe it's just the way maybe it's just like my esoteric taste. Because the games that I like, mainly RPGs, if I'm looking for them and I want them complete, box, manual, whatever else came with it,
Hmm.
they're charging like upwards of, anywhere from 50 to like 150, and sometimes even more.
yeah.
Like, why is the genre that I have to like the most be the most expensive?
Yeah.
Because your parents, they see the box. Oh, you don't need this box anymore. You just chuck it. What's it
Uh,
worth? Then nothing.
That's
But
another topic
now,
for another
Right.
time. We need more than an hour to talk about that because that. Hey, put that on pause. We'll hit restart later. So for that one,
okay.
but that's a.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the ironic thing, though, too, is that even though games are technically cheaper, just with, especially, this is something that comes up on YouTube channels a lot, how people are buying large stocks of, like, the Zelda 3DS or things like that, and then they're reselling them, or Nintendo's just not making a lot of stuff. And so the prices for some things are still really high, actually, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is
that's
that
why
called
when
scalping? That's called
system. What is it?
scalping. Is that what the term for that is? You buy a bunch and you sell for.
Scalping. Yes, that's yeah.
Can't stand that.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
And that's why I don't really like to buy stuff when it first comes out, because if the prices are gonna be so high, then over 2 months later they're gonna keep dropping the price to a point. So, but,
Yeah.
that's why I just
Yeah.
You pre-order? Do either of you two pre-order things at all?
no, I never pre-order anything.
Okay.
The only thing I've pre-ordered so far is Persona Q. Besides that, I don't think I've ever really pre-ordered anything. I try to stay away from pre-orders for the most part, but actually lately, there's quite a few games coming out this year that if I have a chance to pre-order, I might do that. So
There's a lot coming out this year, like just tons of stuff, and it's gonna add up, I'm afraid.
yeah, it seems like a lot of those are going to be kind of niche titles, I think. Because I know we're getting a new Danganronpa, the English translation, technically not new, I guess. Persona and some other stuff as well this year, I think.
Did you say a new Danganronpa? Really? I didn't know about this.
Another episode. I think it's really just it's not going to be like visual novelty. I think it's supposed to be more like maybe kind of mini game stuff. I've only saw a few screenshots. I haven't read much because you can't read anything about it without like seeing spoilers. But I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. We'll see.
As long as Monokuma's back, then I think all will be good with it. In some capacity.
Have you played Goodbye Despair then as well?
Mhm. I played
Most of them?
played,
Okay.
both of them, platinum both of them because anything better to do. And I enjoyed them a lot. But the funny thing is, like even before I knew there was a game, I watched the anime.
Hmm.
And for those watching this, you can watch the anime and not be spoiled by it. That still gives stuff away, but the games have so much more depth
Uh-huh.
and development. I recommend doing both.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I could talk for like an hour about how my impressions have went here and there with the game. I tried watching the anime after playing the game, and I don't know. I can't do the anime. It's just not the same, and also the Japanese voices. I really don't like those. I like the American voiceovers a lot better. I just think it kind of fits the characters better. But
Yeah.
actually, I'm working on a review of the second one right now. It's actually been in work for a few months. I just only work on it a little bit, like every couple of weeks or something. So,
Like a video review, or like a written review?
not a video review, just text. I started to do a video review of Fire Emblem Awakening one time, and it just kind of got to the editing where I don't like doing video editing that much. It's a lot quicker for me because I like to write, sort of, so I can do text reviews a lot quicker, and even that takes about a week usually. So
Cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my own little video reviews.
Those hard. That sounds like there's a lot of work to do. Like way too much technical stuff.
Yeah.
It's not, it depends, because like I'm using a program right now where one of the biggest problems is just every time you add like a big video clip or something like that in, it has to kind of buffer and load it, and so that kind of down dead time, it just kind of gets tedious after a while too when you're working with stuff like that, I think.
I can believe that. I can see that. Yeah. I'm sure you've seen that this guy ENIAC, whatever, Kenny on PG Collect, he kind of pimps out some of the reviews that I've created for GameFAQs, and I love doing it. I mean, I don't get paid for it. I mean, I want an Amazon gift card here or there. Awesome. But, I mean, I just do it.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, yeah. Get the addiction is what it comes down to. But, like, it's just fun to kind of put your thoughts out there and hopefully convince others to buy or to not buy certain games, and I think it's fun, personally. So, and I wanted to ask you, I wrote down something. You said your first PlayStation game was Spyro the Dragon, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So, like, that was one of our first PlayStation games as well, but so I have a question, and if, Charles, if it applies to you, let me know. Did that game make you dizzy at all? Like, at all?
Dizzy?
Yeah.
I replayed it here maybe a year or two ago, and I didn't have any problems with it. So, not personally, no.
Okay, because when I played it, this is back in the day, like, I had to turn away from the screen like this, because just the motion of the camera, it gave me, like, nausea almost. I felt like I was on a roller coaster or something. It was really weird. Experience. Maybe it was because it's my first intro to 3D, I don't know, but it was really odd, and
yeah,
which is a shame because they're pretty fun. So,
I've never played that
down there.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got the Spyro: A Hero's Tale for PlayStation 2. I just picked that up at a Goodwill. Also picked up a PlayStation 1 there for $4.99 the other day. So.
Oh, like that's one, like the little guy, the little sandwich.
The original PlayStation, yeah. No, not
the original one. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's like then there's like the little white one.
Yeah.
That was so cute.
Yeah. I had one of the little white ones, and actually, oh my gosh, I wish I wouldn't have done it, but I ended up gutting it out for fun. And so I still have like the whole of it, but none of the internal parts.
Yeah,
but that was like years ago. I wish I hadn't done that now.
It happens.
Oh, so one thing, unless you guys talked about it last time, was, what was it, like the best video game deal or video game pickup or something that we got? Was that one of the things we were going to discuss?
I wrote on the forum, like, just an idea, like, your best video game buying experience, person to person, this person's kind of counter you're buying, and the worst one. I'm not sure if that's for next time or not. You're the host in charge. What do you think?
That's a good one. Yeah, your best video game buying experience. Yeah. I could say mine was, when I found this video game store that specializes in pretty much everything. Old stuff and new stuff. Out here in the suburbs of Chicago. I went to a GameStop and
There you are.
I was looking around for stuff, and they didn't have much.
Chicago good for like retro game hunting? I figure a big city.
There's two pretty good stores here. There's Video Games Then and Now
Yeah.
or Video Games Etc. You know, they're one of the two because they had one name originally. There's a chain of stores in Canada that had the same name, so they had to change their name. Then there's another store called People Play Games, where they all have, you know, all the retro games and all that stuff. So when I found the first one, Video Games Then and Now, first time, you know, I walked in there like, oh, this place is awesome. They have like Nintendo games, Ataris, and all that. So I walked in there, you know, picked up an Atari 2600, and probably
Nice.
a bunch of other games, and I must have spent like $200 there on retro games the first time I was there.
Oh wow.
How much?
And also the
How much did you say?
about 200 or so.
All on retro stuff?
I got an Atari and
Wow, that's actually pretty
Atari.
good.
And, yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
I went crazy. I'm like, oh, NES Advantage. I always wanted one of these, so I got that.
Oh gosh.
And
So is that like the most?
Runs the shop.
Is that like the most you've ever spent at one time on like a video game
At
drop?
one time, yes. At one time, yeah. You know, I try to keep it low, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
try
put it
is
word,
the
try.
word. Then at one time I saw they had a Vectrex there and convinced a girlfriend to get it for me for my birthday. So.
Is she standing right there?
Plus the guy who. Yeah, the good. Yeah, plus the guy who runs the shop. He does one of the Vectrex multi-carts.
Hmm.
So he does the Sean Kelly, the Vectrex multi-cart.
Cool.
So yeah, so if you have any Vectrex questions, probably just talk to him.
If I do, I'll be sure to remember that. So, yeah, I figured that Chicago would be good for finding some good places that, you know, the mom and
Yeah,
pop.
but there's only not that many stores.
I find that, I don't know,
I
because
think
like
what's it, the Flea?
yeah,
It said the Flea lives up in one of the suburban Chicago, so I guess he's getting all these monster hauls all the time, apparently.
the benefits of living in the suburbs. I live in the suburbs and I love it, so I can't really fault him for it. But no, I know what you mean. No, I think the most I spent at one time on game stuff, and we're not talking like a new console, are we? We're talking about just like going hunting and thing.
Yeah, I would say not a new console because you kind of expect that to be a little bit high sometimes.
Okay. Well, the one that comes to mind is I just got a new job and I had to celebrate. And what better way than to buy video games with a paycheck I did not get yet, but that's another story. So went to a store in Cleveland called The Exchange, and it was like, you know, the pearly gates open. They had everything that I was looking for on my back then on my wish list. So I said, I'll take this, that, and that. I ended up with and it was Xenogears, the Black Label version, Brave Fencer Musashi, Silver for the Dreamcast, and Record of Lotus Wars for the Dreamcast, and one more. Egg, also for the Dreamcast. I think when all was said and done, I was out, I think $212 or something like that. It was a kind of a dent, but I was very happy, and I said, you know, I deserve it. They said yes, so good enough for me. Oh, you got lots of company there. Hi.
Yeah. Hi, Jenny.
Hello there.
Yes, that is our cheese. She has a cheese question, or it's our roommate's cheese, but.
What was your most pricey?
So I think mine would be. There was one time that I had gotten at GameStop. It was kind of near Christmas. They had the 3DS, and I bought a Skylanders pack with it, I think. And I'm wanting to think that was the most expensive. It was like around $315 or something, $350 maybe. but that is the most that I've ever dropped at one time. The second biggest was like on a PS Vita when I got one of those, and usually when I do that, it's like after the summer or during the summer. Oh yeah. When I actually have money, like doing a summer job and stuff. Otherwise, it's always just like pretty small amounts.
Now, do you two work the 8 to 5 shifts or like contract? Like, what do you guys do to support your video game habits?
I work in a camera store. So
Oh, okay.
That's the name. It's Nikon. So,
Oh.
yeah, I've been doing that close to 20 years.
It's funny.
So
Very cool.
right now, I'm still actually a student. So I know how to game pretty cheap usually, but mostly I'll just kind of work during the summer, and sometimes I'll have a job working for the school, and that pays a little bit during an hour. So that's kind of how I do that. Sometimes parents give me a little bit of money too to help out. So just kind of odds and ends ways of getting money.
They help out your gaming addiction?
Not in particular. Usually, every once in a while, they'll give me a little money and they'll say, "Not for video games," and I'm like, "Okay."
Okay, Mom. All right.
How would they know? You know?
Right.
My parents hate that I still play
Must be
video
hanging
games. They hate it.
Well, actually, I mean, one of the ways that I found, because my parents aren't big on video games either, but one of the ways I found to be able to share the hobby with them a little bit is actually through, my mom likes piano music, and I play the piano a bit. So I'll find piano arrangements of, like, Castlevania or something like that, and I'll share those with her.
Awesome.
And she likes to listen to those, yeah. So that's one good thing about the medium is there are kind of ways to help that gap a little bit and share your passion with someone else in different ways that you can both mutually enjoy. So that's kind of how we do that.
Yeah, that's how I pretty much got my, started with my girlfriend. I used to line, "Want to come over to my house and play Duck Hunt?" And now it's been 8.5 years now since we've been together, so.
How long? How long?
8.5.
Oh my! Congratulations, Mazel Tov and all that.
Yeah.
Great.
She is a Jew, so she knows Mazel Tov.
Now,
So, what's like the best
Looking
video
at me
game
now.
pickup that you guys have had?
I'm sorry. What was that? The camera just flickered.
What's like the best video game pickup you guys have had? Maybe
a
like
single
one
game,
thing or a few things.
Probably getting my twin Famicom on eBay for a pretty good price.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I must have paid, I think $70 or $80 for it. It worked relatively okay. I had to make an adjustment on the read head for the disc system. Other than that, it works fine.
Very cool. Very cool. For me, we were just, me and my now ex, we were, gaming, bargain hunting and all that stuff, and we went around the special expensive area. Usually they don't have much stuff there. He said, "Hey, guess what they have?" I'm like, "What?" "They have Elder Odyssey." I was like, "Shut up." "No, they don't." And they actually did. I was like, let me see, shut them out of the way. And I was just very, very thrilled by just actually to hold it, let alone play it. I mean, it's such a great game, and I've had my eye on it since I was like 12. That was back in the day when you either had a Sega Saturn or a PlayStation or a Nintendo 64. I mean,
Right.
you couldn't have all of them, and I wanted to play that game so bad. I finally got the chance, so I was very pleased. And it was only like $30 with everything included, which is like a steal. So that's the one that comes to my mind.
So I think I'm kind of looking over here to see, but I think the best one, price value at least, what I've paid, kind of going against what it's worth. So when I was in high school, I started to look into Mass Effect a little bit, and I'd watched some video reviews, and I saw that the port to the 360 kind of had some problems, but it looked fun. So I go to GameStop, And I look through the bin and I find a copy of it and I take it to the counter. And I start talking to the guy and he's like, oh, actually, we have another edition of this in here. I'll just go ahead and give that to you. I was like, okay. So I paid $15 and I got the special edition of the first one. As far as I know, it's complete for $15. And it's worth anywhere from like 90 to 125. So that is probably the best kind of paid value per actual market value that I've got. So.
Dang, yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, every once in a while. I mean, every once in a while, GameStop will come through for me. So that's kind of one reason why I keep the membership.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like a lot of their business practices. I don't like a lot of their sales clerks. I mean, half of them are there just to, their parents say, you gotta get a job, so go find a job. That's, they don't want to be there. But I mean, for new games, I can't think of anywhere else to go if I want to get it on release date. I mean, tomorrow is March 10th. I'll be going there to get Nick's Atelier game. So I know that, yes, it means going into like the lion's den, if you will. But it's worth it in the end because you come out with a new game. So.
Yeah, I think a lot of people too. We talk about GameStop, but I think a lot of people think of the employees rather than kind of the company itself when they talk about that. A lot of people that have worked at the local ones I go to, they've been there for quite a while, and I mean, I've watched YouTube videos about the stories with bad managers and everything else. But I mean, I've went in there too, and people will just be so frustrated with them, and the employees are just trying their best to help them. And so I feel sorry for them a lot of the time. But yeah, I don't like some of GameStop's policies either. The good thing, for things like this, they don't really charge a different price for the special edition sometimes. So, in their market, their price is in there on most things. Sometimes they're way below what you would actually pay, and sometimes it's an even market value. So that's the one thing I like, because a lot of mom and pop shops that I've been to, you pay a little more for what you get, and sometimes that's okay. But especially being in college and stuff, I just don't have a lot of money to drop on things, so I want to feel like I'm getting a good price and stuff.
I get you. Nikon, what about you? Been quiet over there.
I'm still trying to figure out how to add people here.
That's fine.
I don't really shop at GameStop that much. I don't have much of the new system, so I don't know. I'm not much of a GameStop person.
Not everyone is. Not everyone is.
That's what I say about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be a GameStop person, but other than that, the only place that you can get used games, really, I mean, Walmart does it, but I dislike Walmart just as much. And then there's Best Buy, but Best Buy doesn't have choice, and their used prices aren't as good as GameStop. It's kind of just a price game, really, is the problem, price and availability.
Mm-hmm. Best Buy, I never go there for a video game. I bought one game there a long time ago. It was one of the Castlevanias for the Game Boy Advance. I can't recall which one. I think it was Aria of Sorrow, and that was the last time I bought a video game from there, because I bought the game, and all of a sudden it was this rapid-fire questionnaire as I was trying to check out. Do you want an insurance policy? Do you want a charger for your Game Boy Advance? Do you need batteries? Do you need a screen protector? I'm like, no, I just want to play Castlevania, please, So, never experienced that at GameStop. I've experienced, is there anything you want to pre-order? I say no. They say, are you sure? I'm like, yes, I'm sure. But Best Buy they were trying to shove some stuff down your throat. It was not cool. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, and I kind of feel bad for the employees, because I know technically that's supposed to be part of their job. But one thing you can do, if you start talking to them a little bit, I think sometimes maybe they won't do that. I don't know. But
ask them about their day and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
When they have a bad customer right before you, you're just like, oh man, I'm sorry about that. And they're like, oh, it's okay. All
right. Well, that's good to know. I'll keep that in mind. I mean, I still go there just to look around, and Sometimes they have deals on anime or something like that.
Right. Well, someone did say that Best Buy right now was having on their PS Vita games that are used, like a lot of them are just $8. I went to mine; they didn't have any, but in case anyone's looking for them, I mean, you can check there. But yeah, it's difficult because it's like mom and pop shops are a little more expensive, but on the other side, depending on who's running the shop and stuff, you can potentially get a more personal experience, and people who actually play games and know what you're talking about and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of a dilemma for me. I'd really like to go to more mom and pop shops and stuff, but they're either not around here, or it's just the price and the trip. It's just not really worth it to me.
Is your area of Indiana not well sprinkled with mom and pop game stores and retro stores and stuff like that? Or?
Yeah, we used to have Play and Trade up here that was, they do franchise and all of that. But again, the problem was they were always even if it was just a few dollars, they were a few dollars more expensive than GameStop. Now, the good thing was, I got my NES repaired there and got the pin connectors replaced and stuff, so that was nice having that. But the guys that work there actually, the Play and Trade went out of business. They started up their own used game shop, and then they changed it to a tabletop and board game shop because the video games they got in a lot more stuff than they sold, and it just wasn't really paying out for them. So that's kind of a factor too. But yeah, we don't really have any mom and pop used game places around here. Hastings takes used games now, retro games, but that's like the only place around here. So.
Interesting. Nashville has quite a few actually, which really surprised me because when you think of Nashville, you don't think video game stores and retro titles and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. And conversely, when I lived in Atlanta, there was like nowhere that had stuff like that. And it's such a surprise because Atlanta is huge. You would think at least they have a few, but they had Play and Trade, and that's about it. Really.
Right.
So.
I'm surprised there's not that many more here in Chicago. There's only one in the city and out in the suburbs. That these are the only ones that I know of, but I don't know. I haven't found any other retro game stores here.
Yeah, that surprises me too, because I would think in a more urban area where I guess I would just think you're going to get more traffic going through there, that more people would be willing to go to mom and pop shops and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I think I should open my own someday, but.
Your own? Is that what you said?
I don't know. I'd like to do that someday, maybe.
That would be so cool. Hell, I visit. Yeah, I'd support. I'd buy something there even if I didn't need it. I try to support the underdogs. Not saying you're an underdog, but I try to support them whenever I can. So, I mean, that's awesome. You do you. That's great.
This takes a lot of money, startup capital, and all that, and
oh yeah.
Money I don't have right now. I'm just buying other video game stuff.
It does.
Yep. Yeah, I've always said, like, if I die, to donate my video games to a museum or something to be used for a museum, because I mean, you just don't get your money back on this stuff. And even though I know that people would be buying it, I mean, I just go in a store and like boxes are damaged for games or they don't have the manuals, and I'm just like, gosh, well, people treat these so bad, and I wouldn't want mine treated that way,
You want to take them home and feed them soup and nourish them back to health. So, exactly, just like that. The video games we love too. You can help me on that, America.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I mean, I'm that way with books too. Like, people write in their school books and highlight and stuff. I'm just like, I can't do that to a book. I just can't.
Okay, now that I was guilty of that back when I was in school. So, but I kept my school books too. I didn't try to sell them back. So that's something.
And I still got a lot of my textbooks from when I was in school. So.
Yeah. Same here.
But yeah.
Randomly, any luck trying to add anyone else, by the way? Not saying this dynamic isn't bad. I'm just wondering if anyone.
I found the link to share it.
Yeah.
So I shared it on in the VG Collect, just the forum there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I think I'm
I'm
talking
not
from one of
sure.
the 3 viewers.
I'm not sure because I got an invite, and once I went to this join call thing, it was fine. So I'm not sure.
I think that's what I did too. So,
Yeah. So this is my first time starting one of these. So in time we'll all get better at this.
yeah, I'll get. Yeah.
Yeah, one of these days.
Tomorrow too, right?
Yeah, there's one
I
tomorrow.
think West Coast. Is
Yeah,
doing one tomorrow or
8:30
something?
Pacific.
All right.
So
Great.
that'll be 10:30 in Chicago. But yeah, so the other thing I want to bring up, do you guys have any plans for buying any new purchases, big purchases? Any old retro systems or anything new you guys plan on buying?
Retro systems, not really. Tomorrow, I'm going. Like I said earlier, I'm going to get the new Atelier game, and see if anything else strikes my fancy. And recently, I picked up some games just on Amazon. Just did some light shopping, if you will. And by light, I mean fiscally irresponsible, but yeah. So yeah, I'm going to just get those, and I don't think there's anything else for the month of March that I'm looking forward to. I know the new Final Fantasy comes out, but I don't have a PlayStation 4 yet, so really no sense in getting that now. But I think that's it. How about you two?
I'm trying to save up for something. I'm trying to save up for like a Neo Geo MVS, arcade cabinet.
Oh wow.
Awesome. Dare I ask how much they are?
They're not that much. You could get them under $1,000. There's
Oh
one.
really?
Yeah. There's
I
one
thought those were
that's
like at least like $2,000 or something for one of those.
They're a lot cheaper than the AES. And the games are a heck of a lot cheaper too. You can pick up Metal Slug for the MVS for
That's awesome.
under $100 or just about $100. But you get it for the home console, it's $500-$600 or more.
Wow.
So it's pretty much the same game, but a lot cheaper.
Right.
Like a separate account, like for this purchase, or are you just like pitching pennies here and there, and are you not eating as much food? Or, like, what are you doing to save this money?
Yeah. Just trying to save money for it, as much as I can. Try not to go into the my game shops and buy. Oh, look at this! I need this game. I need this.
Yeah. So actually, I went to GameStop today and just got a couple small things, and then my big purchase. It's been in the store for a while, but Shin Megami Tensei Devil's Survivor Overclocked. I'm trying to collect a lot of them in the series, and it was in there, and you don't see a lot of Shin Megami Tensei games just kind of pop up in the store, so I thought I should get it while I can. Otherwise, I mean, I have a lot of consoles. I don't really have a lot of games for them, though. But I would like to get a Wii U eventually for Megami Tensei and the Fire Emblem crossover that they're supposed to be doing.
Is that happening? Because I haven't heard.
Here's what I suspect. So I think 2013 was like the last time that we got official announcement news, and so what I'm thinking, since I think the Persona 5, like the first trailer we got was like this year or maybe late last year, I'm thinking that they were working on that, and they probably said to hold off the crossover until they finished Persona 5. That way they could include Persona 5 characters in it. Because, like they've been doing with 4, and they've been trying to make some off-spin games, put characters in there to sell. So my theory is that maybe they stop that so that they can get 5 out, put some of those characters in that, and then hopefully sell it better on the Wii U.
Okay.
I don't know, but 2013 I think is the last that we've heard anything on it.
My question is,
plus a new Fire Emblem.
Like Fire Emblem is usually rated E or T, and SMT series they're rated M. So I'm wondering, are they going to tone down the violence for an SMT game, or are they going to like?
Well, I don't know. I mean, because this SMT game is teen, and I'm not sure what the other ones are rated, because all those are at school and I'm on spring break, so I don't have them with me. But I wouldn't think so. I mean, thematic-wise, Megami Tensei is actually like a lot darker and stuff, and I think than Fire Emblem. But Fire Emblem tends to be like graphically, I guess, more violent maybe. But I think I assume they'll just kind of tone it down like they did with to present it like Awakening looks basically. But I mean, I don't know. We haven't seen screenshots or anything, so
Right.
who knows?
Because the two Digital Devil Saga games were rated M for good reason. There's a lot of gore in those.
Yeah.
Nocturne was M. I think Persona 4 was M. I'm not sure about 3. Maybe 3 was M and 4 was T.
Actually, no, I don't have 3 here. I think 3 might have been teen, and I think usually where the M comes from is for the partial nudity, usually like breast on the angels or something like that. But lately, they've been avoiding that more. Like they'll still have the breast, but they won't actually have like any details or anything on there. So, yeah, I don't know how they'll end up doing that then.
That was just something that came to mind. I mean, I'm not saying Nintendo's shying away from violence. I mean, Bayonetta 2,
Right.
over the top, but
Right.
the two series just seem so different from each other that I find it hard to. How would they? I'm just wondering how would they merge those two games into one?
Well, and I'm not trying to like butt into the conversation too much here, but with the last one, I mean, they brought in like the whole alternate timeline thing. So, I mean, I assume it would be as easy as, oh, portal opens to another universe, everyone's here, ooh, party, you know. I mean, it'll be interesting because I mean, like Overclocked is, I think it's sort of a strategy kind of RPG game. I've only seen screenshots. I haven't played it yet, but I think that'll be an interesting crossover. I really liked Awakening. That if there was one reason to buy 3DS, that would be it for me. So I look forward to it quite a bit.
Nikon, do you like portable gaming as well? Like, I think the two of us seem to love our Vitas and our 3DSs.
I couldn't hear what you said again. Say that again.
You like portable gaming, like, a lot? Ish?
You're breaking up.
Breaking up? Oh, no.
Yeah.
One more
I don't know,
time.
maybe the connection, so what was that saying? Which gaming do I like?
Portable, like
Portable?
Game Boy, Gears, the Vita.
Yeah, I've got a 3DS XL, and I play got a few games for that. I don't mind it. I play more games on the cell phone sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I just picked up downloaded Dead Trigger 2, which is a pretty fun game.
Dream Trigger or Dead Trigger?
Dead Trigger.
Okay. I was thinking the 3DS one.
I never heard of either of those two games. So
yeah, and that's in this that would bring up a whole nother issue though about like game availability. You can go a place and see 3DS games that you never even like knew existed just because every place has different ones. It's really inconsistent.
I mean, there's so many games for the DS system that they produce.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You need like 5 snow shovels for all the shovelware that they produce. It's ridiculous. I'm not even trying to be, sensational. It's like, how many Mary Kay and Ashley games did they really need to create? I mean, that was enough. How many Hannah Montana games do they need to create? I mean, it's off the chart. It's so
the Pokemon games they've made.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to offend any of the Pokemon fans watching. It's just not my thing. That's all I'm saying. So,
I'm just saying, Megami Tensei is the superior Pokemon type game. So.
Oh yeah, those things.
Fired, but...
They were just dead. It's super effective. No, it's
good. You said you like Valkyrie Profile, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
have you played the PSP game? What is it? Lilith? Okay. I was just wondering.
Got questions about it? I probably am.
Oh no, it's just I buy games and I like never play them or just partially play them, and I haven't started playing that one yet. So I was just wondering. Since you like handheld.
For an RPG, it's like 15, 20 hours. It's really short, and it's okay. if you play it without a guide, it's really short. If you play it with a guide for the best ending, it's about 25, 30 hours. But really fun. Just a really great game. I'm not sure if you played it or not, but I love it. I can't get enough of it. So.
Yeah. So speaking of that, like, how many of your guys' games that you get do you actually kind of like end up finishing or playing most of them? Because I have a problem where I'll try them, but I hardly ever finish most of my games at all.
Hey, I just picked up one not too long. I just picked up Who Shot Johnny Rock for the Sega CD. I couldn't finish that game because you can't finish that game.
Oh no!
You have an excuse. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you know, I shoot out of nowhere. You don't even see the guy pop up. You know, next thing you know, you're getting shot. I'm like, what the hell? You know, which is, you know, it's a Sega CD games. You know, it was live action video back then. You know, it wasn't the best sometimes, but you know.
Never owned one, but if I see one, I may pick one up. Just I'm not hunting for one, but it would feel kind of neat to own just that little piece of gaming history. So, but to answer your question,
Also, like the second.
I would say I play and complete 90% of what I own and buy. That being said, you'll notice like in my signature, my collection isn't as grand as yours guys' is. So
mine's not that big. Trust me.
So
Yeah, mine.
that's what she said. No, I'm just kidding. But my collection, I at least try to see the credits roll. That's like my rule. Now with current gen, with trophies and all that stuff, if I like the game, I'll get all the trophies. If I don't, then I'll just watch the credits roll, move on. Like yesterday, I finished Suikoden 5 finally. Great game, by the way. Just a little on the long side, even to my liking. Watch the credits, move on, done. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just want to get my money's worth. It's hard. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm Mr. Scrooge here, but if I pay, I want to enjoy it and see what if this this was worth the money or not.
Right. Yeah, and that's a thing for me too as well. And when it's something where it's like a $5 game or a $10 game, it doesn't matter as much. But that's one reason why I don't buy a lot of games that are like $20 or over anymore. I mean, even though technically you can get a lot for that, I'm very particular about what games I actually like. Like I used to read a lot, but I don't read much anymore because I'm just kind of particular. And it's the same with games, which I think kind of brings up kind of the question or opinion, because I think it's very easy for people to say, you have so many games, but you've hardly finished any of them and stuff. But at the same time, I kind of like them to have them for the history there too, and just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just kind of nice to have them. Maybe it is an addiction thing. I don't know.
No, you like to turn and you see your collection. You're like, yeah, I bought those. I like how that looks. I can feel that. So.
Yeah, getting that collection, I was like, nice to have like when friends first time they come over, they look at the game collection, like, oh my god, look what you got,
Yeah.
It's like all your friends, like, look at this. I've got all the Mega Mans there,
Yeah.
You have all the Mega Mans. That's awesome.
Well, I don't have Mega Man 5 for the NES yet, so that's my next one.
Okay.
Do you have the Game Boy ones too?
That I do not. No, I don't have much Game Boy games yet.
I only have 3 Game Boy games, you guys. So you probably have more than me. And just FF Legend 1, 2, and 3. That's all I got for now. So
I used to have, I mean, not a lot of them, but when I was a kid, I mean, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, that I played those quite a bit.
Yeah.
And actually, I sold them to GameStop, and of course, retrospective, I just wish I wouldn't have done that because I would have liked to have them now. But
yeah.
I can believe that. Hindsight 2020. Like I remember this one time years ago, like because a an allowance doesn't buy much, so we would sell our games to try to get new ones. And
Right.
you guys played the Game Boy game Kirby's Pinball Land? Kirby's Pinball
Yeah,
Land?
I played an emulation of it before.
Nikon, have you played it too?
That one, no.
Okay.
I played that one.
Super rare, not a very good game, but still super rare, and we sold it to, like, back then it was Funko Land.
Oh, I
And-
remember Funko and
Yeah, so you imagine how long ago this was. It was, looking back, I was like, why did we do that? That was so bad of us, you know. So, lessons learned the hard way, you know.
Yeah.
crazy. Look at the Mega Man games. How much are going for now? Used.
Oh, I know.
You know.
That's why I just bought the anniversary collection for the PlayStation 2. Like, I'll just take these and move on, you know.
And that's why I buy the you know, for the Super Famicom, I buy the Japanese versions. They're hell of a lot cheaper.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a really good idea.
You know, there's like story texts in Japanese, but you know,
I mean,
it's Mega
Mega
Man.
Man, it's not Gone with the Wind. I mean, like, not really missing much. I mean, I could
Right.
read some Japanese, and I love learning it. But if I get a Mega Man game in Japanese, I'll tell you, just like everyone else, I'm blazing through the text just so I can fight the next, you know,
Yeah.
robot boss. So, no harm in doing that, I don't think.
Yeah,
That's
we'll have to talk about Japanese and like import games sometime because I need to buy like a couple of Megami Tensei ones to add in here. But it seems like I'll watch some videos on some of the channels like CGR and stuff, and you know they'll find like really good ones, and sometimes I'm like, how do we not get that? You know?
As an RPG fan, like that's like one of my biggest nerves, and so that's definitely a topic for another time. Like I'll probably have like a laundry list of all the games that should have come on our side and didn't, and they have to resort to emulation or patches or all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I love importing games because it gives me a chance to brush up on my Japanese ability, and I get to play a game that, you know, otherwise wouldn't have gotten played.
How long have you been learning Japanese?
Well, I took a year of it in college. Just loved it. Like, loved it. I couldn't fit any more into my schedule because of my with all the classes, and just been studying on my own ever since. It's just like when you study something you actually like, you actually learn better.
Right.
So yeah, it's I actually find it fun to learn it. I know it sounds weird, but it's true.
No. I mean, it makes sense. I've taken Chinese for like maybe 3 years, basically since I've been at the college, and so like sometimes I can recognize a few of the characters are the same, but yeah. So do you watch anime to kind of like brush up or learn on your listening skills for Japanese or anything?
That's kind of like like people ask me that, and I never really know how to respond because yes, they're talking in the native tongue, but I mean it's conversation level, over the top.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it's not really good for like practice. It's good. You might pick up subtle things here or there, and you'll recognize like a word or a sentence structure or something. But I mean, first to answer your question, yes, I always watch my anime subtitle. But it's not, I don't think that's like the best way to get listening skills. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things I really wish a lot more languages had here in the U.S. was like a method of exposure for people trying to learn the language that's fun to be able to kind of practice and learn it a little bit too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll recommend to both of you guys if you're interested in learning the language. There's a Nintendo DS game called My Japanese Coach. It's a great place to start to learn. Not a great place to finish, but it definitely can get you started. I'm sure it's really cheap. I mean,
Yeah.
from Ubisoft, so it has to be cheap.
Yeah, I want to learn Japanese. You know, since I am half Japanese, so I'd like to learn Japanese.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, my powers of observation. I apologize. I didn't realize.
I'm only half, so I'm a Yonsei, so I'm 4th generation, so.
Mm.
So, do you know any of the
Yeah.
languages then? I mean,
Little bit. Both.
Start. I actually prefer to write it and read it as opposed to speak it. Like if I speak it, it sounds butchered as all hell. But reading and writing to me is more fun.
You know, the writing system is so, it's complex to start off with. And I know they got the 3 writing systems.
Mm-hmm. That's right. They have the hiragana, the katakana, and the kanji. So.
Counting things is a whole nother.
I will say this.
Park.
If you guys want to pick up something for the kanji, I recommend this. This is cleverly titled "Remembering the Kanji." It has been so helpful in learning those crazy characters. That sounds kind of racist. Crazy characters. Sorry, Japanese. For learning the kanji. I'll just say that. Highly recommended if you want to pursue that. So this is really cheap. It was only like $15. So
now is that one of the methods where they make up a story or make a picture within the character to learn it?
This one, let's see. Basically he breaks it down to primitive elements, I guess he calls them.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just visualize it in your head taking shape. There's no pictographs or anything like that. Let's see here. You see that okay-ish?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So he'll have the character, the stroke order, and just give a description of how to memorize it. And I'm not very far. I'm only on maybe 450 characters right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel a lot more comfortable reading it since I've gotten this text. So, like I said, I can't praise it enough. I know I sound like a fanboy with it, but it's really.
Well, no, it's and this is one thing we went through with my Chinese class is it's difficult to find good materials. And you also have to gauge those materials for where you are within learning the language. So.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Don't start with this. No, I will say that. Don't start anyway. I would say start with the basic text, and I have those are downstairs. So, but yeah, this is a good supplement by all means.
Mm.
Yeah, all the basic sound.
Who said first?
Well, if you want to talk about the characters or anything anymore, otherwise I was going to kind of switch to another topic.
Okay.
Okay. So I was wondering, let me find it up here, what the worst game is that you guys have played, or the one that you've disliked the most. For me, I got Dead or Alive Paradise, and oh my gosh, it's the worst game I've ever played in so many ways. It was painful to play.
Wait, aren't you on spring break now? Isn't that kind of fitting that you brought that game up?
I went into the game store, and it was a girl, a woman working at the clerk's desk too, and I brought it up in a pile of PSP games. I like to buy some for it, and she made a comment about it, and I was just like, okay, whatever. But it is truly a terrible game. That is all I can say about it.
So the question is, worst games that we've played and we still have, or just in our?
Oh, just worst game you've played, or game you've disliked the most. Yeah.
Mr. Nikon, I had to think about this one.
Or just one that stands out, because of course worse it would give you a lot to think about.
Yeah.
What is the worst game I've ever played?
I had a lot of stinkers in my day. So. I'm not proud of it. Oh, I know one. When I bought my 360, I bought Spectral Force 3 along with it. Oh God, awful.
Is that a RPG? I think the
Yeah.
name's kind of familiar.
It's a Neverland title, so Idea Factory has their stamp on it.
Oh boy.
But this is before I knew about Idea Factory.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten better, by the way. I will say they've gotten better. But anyway, yeah, it was just awful. okay, you have a healer who cannot heal himself, so that is dumb. They didn't have sound effects, so when a bee would like a giant steroid-induced bee would attack you, you'd hear a voice actor go buzz. Yeah. I'm not even joking. Like I wish I was embellishing this, but I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not like a graphical whore by any means, but it looked like it came straight out from the Dreamcast, and like that ugly 3D rendering Dreamcast look. It was just an awful strategy game, and I had such high hopes for it too. I mean, I'll be honest. The only reason I bought my 360 was to play Tales of Vesperia, so but I needed something to occupy the time, and that was the worst choice I could have made. So, yeah. So avoid it, America.
Okay, got my one.
Special Force 3. PSA.
I think probably the worst game I got now is China Warrior on the TurboGrafx 16.
What is it called?
China Warrior.
China Warrior?
China Warrior? I never heard of that.
It's you're lucky. I,
Actually, let me look it up.
You're pretty much just a guy walking down this thing. You're either kicking or punching your enemies. You know, that's all it is. There's very little movement, very little anything in the game. But
I don't even
probably one of the worst games I've played.
I think maybe CGR or someone I'm wanting to think maybe reviewed that or something. It seems familiar.
Well.
Oh, Philip, since you kind of play RPGs, have you played Hyperdimension Neptunia?
Oh yeah, I have all of them except for the remakes. So yeah, I have.
Okay. Well, because I got the first one, and I'm not sure. Nice. I'm not sure if I'm just not playing the game correctly or if I haven't got far enough, but it seems very underwhelming to me, I guess.
Which one? The very first one?
The very first one, yeah. And I wasn't sure, like in your opinion, like was the first one well received, or is like it just seems very low energy when I'm playing it.
Like, funny story about that is, like, I played it and felt the same way you did, just underwhelmed, really confused by all the choices they made, like the items. I'm sure they've gotten, that's just the combat was slow. It was I felt the same way you did. I will not say it gets better, but I will say it's actually pretty easy to complete. Like, by the end of the game, you're so overpowered and unstoppable. That being said, if you're not having fun now, chances are you won't have fun later. The story doesn't.
Okay.
Now, for the Vita, I'm sure you know there's a remake.
Right.
First one, so I would say play that one. Definitely.
Okay, I may have to give that a look then, because I got the first one and I avoided getting the second one until I tried the first one.
Oh, the second one's great.
Is it better than the first then?
So much better, so much fun.
Okay.
Definitely pick that one up. Yeah. So, Nikon, I see you have a friend there, Nikon, on your.
Yeah, that's a dog now.
Who is that? Oh my goodness.
This is the doctor.
I cannot take it as too cute. Do you have any animals?
Yeah.
I don't, no. I'm not a pet person. I like animals, but I can't take care of them.
Yeah, it's a responsibility. You have a cat. I'm going to get a dog soon, but for now, just a cat. Oh, look at that. He's a little camera hog, isn't he?
Thanks, Doc.
We're going to need like a mascot for these podcasts, so maybe one of your animals can be the one.
Yeah.
Look at that face. I mean, how can you not see one of that face?
We could draw it up.
Over there. No?
Someone on there was.
I can draw some stuff, but I'm terrible at digital color.
Well, you'd be the one to make the icons and all that stuff. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, I can send you a link, I guess, so you can. I have an example here somewhere.
Did he just come up for a pet for some petting?
Yeah. He still thinks he's a lapdog.
Yes.
He's about almost 80 pounds.
What is he? I see some Mastiff in him. It looks like from here.
He's a Staffy. He's an all American Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
Wow, it's a big
So
boy.
he's one of, oh yeah, but he's such a big baby.
Yeah, look at that. Well,
Yeah.
I'm
So
listening for now. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I'll just put the link in the chat if you just want to see. This is like the latest thing that I think I drew. It's okay, but it'd give us a basis to try to make something later, I guess.
Oh, I see what you did there. I'll have a look right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I assume people that are watching can go in the chat. I'm not sure if that's just for us or.
Is that the Onion
For
Knight?
us.
The what?
Is that an Onion Knight? And the color looks like the from Final Fantasy 3 or something.
Oh no, the first one is Aegis from Persona 3, and then the second two are from Sorcery Saga.
Grocery Saga.
Awesome,
Oh my
dude.
god, I love that game. God.
I like it. I think it's a bit unpolished, but besides that, I mean, I like it. I think the characters are really cute. I like their designs too.
Oh yeah, you can't. It's so just so anti-dark and depressing. You can't help but just enjoy yourself when you play it, and I love Curry, so that's even greater. So,
Yeah, it actually got me to make curry a couple times because after I played it, I was like, oh man, I want to make some curry now.
it turned out okay.
Yeah. Okay, so it's okay, about 9 o'clock right now, so I guess
We
let's
talked
do
about
wrap it up now.
Sounds good.
About an hour so far, so you guys got anything you guys want to close it out with?
I'll just say that this has
Any
been
final
super
parting
fun,
comments?
and I cannot wait to do it again because I'm glad we got to work. And I'm not sure about tomorrow because it'll be, might be past my bedtime. Working adult, all that good stuff. But I'll definitely try to do this as much as possible because this has been lots and lots of fun. So.
Yeah, same here. I've got a project I'm working on, but I'm sure we will again soon. So.
Right on. And the host
And
with
as
the
we go
most?
on, this will get more polished. I'm not the host of the most. There's just, I don't know, but just doing what I can with this. So hopefully I'll get be able to get people invited more streamlined and, get that all worked out. But
Fighter Pilot, if you're watching this, we missed you.
I tried to get you in, but I don't know what was happening. So
We'll get it.
yeah, we'll get it. So this way, these are still like the test runs.
Yep.
Okay, thank you all for watching. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.